So a fun fact about our next speaker, whom I call T. Dubes, is that her name spelled backwards is a rash. Please give it up for a rash.
Hi everyone. In case you didn't put it together, my name spelled 4 words is Tara. I'd like to start our time together by asking you a question. What would you say is something that's frowned upon by society? It doesn't have to be anything deep. It could very simply be picking your wedgie in public, which I think we can all agree is unacceptable. But I'd just like to know a few people's input.
Picking your nose.
Yes, I agree. Okay.
Spitting.
Spitting? Yes, that's a good one as well. Okay, so now imagine that getting your period was one of those things. This probably seems strange to most of you because we all know this is a natural step in the life of a female. However, in underdeveloped countries, this is as unacceptable, if not worse, than spitting in public. In the beginning of the course, I knew I wanted to do a service project, but I had a hard time deciding on what I wanted to serve. One day I saw an article on Facebook about the reasons that women are undereducated in third world countries. Opening the link, I assumed it would be because of gender prejudice, but soon learned that the leading cause of girls dropping out of school is that they miss too much school due to menstruation, that they are unable to make up the work that they miss, and have no choice but to drop out. I can't quite explain what was stirred up inside of me as I continued to research this topic, but I just knew I needed to help. My friend Abigail told me about a company called Days for Girls International, and I learned that their mission is to make and distribute reusable pads to girls in third world countries so that they can further their education and continue to be functioning members of society. After reading what this company is all about, I realized that I really wanted to help and become a part of their mission. So this is just a little video that explains what Days for Girls is about.
Days for Girls was founded to provide menstrual supplies to girls around the world who don't have access to them. So many girls around the world are forced to use just anything around them to manage their menstruation, or in many cases, they just remain in isolation for that week every month. The Days for Girls kids help to give the girls those days back.
So after doing my research on Days for Girls, I contacted an information person from their company, and she sent me all of the patterns and told me to send pictures to their quality expert. So I made the items needed for the kit and sent their expert pictures. After the weeks went by, I kept pestering their information person, asking when I would hear back, and I got no response. I made the decision to continue moving forward and making the materials. In order to make the packages, I raised money through a dress down day where both the boys' school and the girls' school could pay $3 to wear non-uniform clothes. Through this, I raised almost exactly the amount I needed. I ended up with $50 left over, which I donated to Days for Girls. In each package, you need 3 things. So there's the bag, there is a shield, and then a liner. And in each package, there are 8 liners and 2 shields, and 1 bag, obviously. The liners are made out of 2 pieces. This stitch is called a serger stitch, so you use a special machine for that, and you connect them, and that makes the liner. And then for the shield, this is a lot more complicated. You have 2 of these, and then in the middle, you have this like waterproof layer, and then for each you have to cut out pockets and then sew them together. And the Days for Girls company has really, really strict rules about how everything has to be made. So if it was a half an inch off, that's not acceptable. And with the clips sometimes, I would clip them the wrong way, so it was finished and then I'd ruin the clip. So I ended up making, what was it? 256 of these and 64 of these correctly. So these formulas were really difficult for me because I'm really mess it up and then keep going type of sewer, and I've been seen lying on fabric to measure how long it should be. So this was quite the struggle. 3 months after I contacted the sewing expert, I got an email back saying that everything looked good, but the pocket stuck out just a little bit. She explained that that's not a quality issue, but because of this, it would be more difficult to ship, and she wasn't positive that they would be able to. And this made me really nervous because I didn't want these shields that I've been making to not go, although the quality was good enough. So about after a week after I received that email, my mom's friend told her about her friend who is a nurse during the school year and then goes to Africa in the summers to teach women how to take care of themselves. Her work there primarily consists of teaching women how to stay safe from sexual predators, but she also teaches young women personal hygiene, which goes hand in hand with my project. So I got her number and gave her a call. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this, but calling somebody I don't know and trying to make up a conversation with them was a really big stretch for me, but I'm really glad I did it. We talked at length about the problems women run into in underdeveloped places, and she said that she could take the packages down in June. This conversation turned my dilemma into an open door, and I'm really glad I was able to get in contact with her. Along with my new connection with this lovely nurse, I was also able to talk and educate many people about this prevalent problem. Towards the end of my project, I asked Mrs. Merrill to be my mentor, and she helped me decide whether or not to get people involved in my project. With her help, I decided that getting people involved was a great way to spread awareness. Through my dress down day, I was able to present that it very simply is a problem. And after that, I was able to talk to people when they had more in-depth questions. I really wanted people to know about the issue, but I didn't want to force anybody to listen to me. I find that people, when they're invested in problems, they're more into it. So I had the opportunity to have a small packaging event where a few girls got together and we assembled the kits. This was really wonderful for me because it allowed my peers to see a problem in a relaxed way without having to be lectured. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me with this project financially, emotionally, and physically. All of my friends and family who spent their time pinning, cutting, and packaging may not have realized the impact that they not only made on my project as a whole, but on the lives of the girls receiving the packages. All in all, I'm very pleased with how my project worked out. I was able to help 32 girls with the help of my peers and also grew a lot myself. My research paper was all about how helping others helps you to help yourself. And through this project, I've really seen that come true. This project has taught me self-discipline and patience like nothing else ever has. I've learned that it's important to help those who are unable to help themselves. And in that, it's impossible to not receive benefits yourself. Thank you.
Okay, question time for Tara.
If we would want to donate to the organization, how would we go about that? And do they take just money?
I'm not sure how you would pay with cash, but if you go online, you can pay online there. It's really easy if you just Google it.
Being born and raised in a third world country, would you think of visiting a country like that sometime in your life?
So the question was if I would ever consider visiting a third world country, and definitely that is one of my life goals, to go and do service. I'm not sure exactly where, but the college that I'm going to is really big into service, and that's one of the main reasons I'm going there. So yeah, definitely. Yep.
So I was wondering if you found it challenging to talk about such a sensitive topic, and how do you handle that, or how do you grow from having to talk about that?
So the question was, how was the experience talking about a sensitive topic, right? For me, I kind of really enjoyed talking about it, because it's sort of one of those things that you're not supposed to talk about. It's not really, but it was fun for me because it's nice to talk to people and see that people are really interested in this problem. I didn't have any negative feedback. Everyone was really interested, which was really nice for me.
How much money did juries on your dress down pay?
Somewhere around $530, which was great, very helpful. Yes?
What was it like having fabric?
Oh, that's a great question, actually. So the fabric had to be very, very specific, and it wasn't just the quality of the fabric that mattered, it was also the material. So as you can see, all of this is extremely colorful, and that's for stain purposes. But also, you couldn't have any fabric with any type of animals on it, because in some of the countries, animals carry diseases, and you couldn't have flowers. Oh, you could have butterflies though, which I thought was interesting. But you couldn't have any flowers. I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah, it was a challenge finding material that was appropriate for the project. Yeah.
Where did you get the material?
I got the material at Joann's. If anybody needs to know how to get coupons there, I'll let you know now. Yeah, I got it all from there. They had everything I needed.
Are you continuing to do more?
I'm taking a break right now. I'm a little bit worn down from it, but I think I'll come back to it. Yeah, now that I know how to do it, it's a life skill, so definitely.
What kind of hours does it take to put into as a whole or into one bag, would you estimate?
It really depends because sometimes a shield, which is this one, could take me 20 minutes on a good day, but if it's getting late at night and I'm tired or I'm cranky, it could take up to an hour and a half. Also, if you make one little mistake, it sets everything else back. So it's hard to say exactly how long each package would take, but yeah, it just varied a lot.
And this is a very leading question, but because I don't know if you mentioned it. How long does one of these reusable packages last?
3 years.
Are people all over the country doing this for third world countries?
The question was, are people all over the country doing this? And yes, people are involved. A lot of people, for Days for Girls, you can get involved by answering their emails or volunteering in any way. A lot of people do volunteer and make the packages for Days for Girls, but I'm not sure if there are companies all over that you can volunteer from wherever. Yeah.
How much of the actual sewing, cutting, putting it all together did you do yourself, and how much did you have help from other people?
Well, I had my one friend Chelsea and her sister were like cutting maniacs. I have no idea how they got everything done, but I would give them a huge stack of fabric and then they would have it all cut out the next day for me. So I did all of the sewing and I did probably half the cutting. And yeah, some friends and family did a lot of cutting for me, which was great. And then the packaging was done with my classmates. But yeah.
Basically anyone that made eye contact.
Yeah, anybody who was willing to help, I would have them help. Yeah.
How many countries do the packages get sent to?
sure how many. I know they go all over for Days for Girls. Mine are going to Africa, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure, sorry.
Yours are going to Africa through this friend?
Yes, through the nurse. They're going with her.
If they weren't, would you be sending them to that organization or?
So the question was, if they weren't going through the nurse, would I send them through the organization? And yes, I would. That was my initial plan. But then, since the pocket stuck out, I didn't want to risk them not sending it. And this sort of cut out a middleman, which ended up being a lot nicer because she asked me to send a picture of myself so she can show the girls. And she told me that when she comes back, she'll send me pictures of them with the packages. So it makes it a lot more personal, which is nice.
Okay, that looks like it. Let's take another break. Let's first give a round of applause.